marriage and family life issues. So the goal is usually to help people with relationship, marriage, and family life issues. And it is reached. It's happened here every Sunday, 1 p.m. live at Vintage 93.7 FM, Olujole, Ibadan. Right. For everyone who has stayed with us, thank you so much for staying with us. I have my friend here joining me today, Mr. Awolowo Olaoluwa. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Mr. Alright. Thank you for bringing me on board. Even though
Thank you,
there's been a
thank you.
yeah, I'm glad to be here finally.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask a question right away. What was it that came to your mind when you saw the topic?
Choosing a money style for your marriage actually, it made me to. It reminds me of how important actually money is in marriage. When I got the topic as I was just ruminating and preparing, I haven't. I
Mhm.
actually got my own take home as well, but
Yes,
the preparation actually widens my understanding and based on the information and probably the knowledge we have before. I think we need to learn
yes.
more. We know
Mhm.
the new form of knowledge is out now for you to relearn, unlearn, and that's the
True.
best way, because if not, you know we'll just be fighting unnecessary battles, and we'll be living in the past, whereas we'll be thinking that
That's
we
true.
are outdated and all that. Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, we've decided to do this because usually when people come for counseling, we have people who say, "Oh, my husband likes spending money like this. My wife likes spending money like this. This happens, that happens," and we are always trying to see how to help them have a healthy and balanced system. So, for you, I would like to ask a question: do you think a couple can just have one particular money style that helps? Is there, or rather, let me ask it like this: is there a particular money style that helps every marriage, like one particular money style that every marriage, if they
And I
apply,
know.
it will work for
Oh
them?
well, like based on the question you asked is somehow to me, because I know one thing for sure. As we all are. I
Yes,
was in a conference, an international conference yesterday, and I mean some
yes.
days ago, and I asked the question because I was speaking, and I asked the question. I said, if you are to be a fruit, tell me which fruit you would
Mhm,
like to be, and tell me why. And everybody come
mhm.
up with, somebody said apple, somebody said coconut. I mean, yes,
Yes,
coconut. And they told me reason. Somebody said orange, and somebody said no, he
yes.
doesn't like orange because orange is too accessible. And somebody said they
Are you
like
serious?
coconut. So why am I bringing up this example again? I'm bringing it up in order
Mhm.
to for you to know how important individuation is, and
True.
the uniqueness of every home, uniqueness of every family, and uniqueness of every individual. Because when it comes to spending, personality cannot be removed from spending. Our
That's true.
personality are
That's
brought
true.
up and down. So if all that is not the same, then there can never be a pattern for money style in a marriage. So
Oh, great. Oh,
yeah.
great. Thank you. So I'll now ask the next question that I would like to ask is, if that is so, what are the different money patterns or the different money styles that are out there that you would like to make reference to?
Okay, we have different money style actually, a lot like that people actually adopt, and
Mm.
I think the general one, like let me just make it general.
Yes,
There is this we do this one that people call the common. I mean, having a joint purse, you and your partner. I'm talking about
yes,
two people now. The joint
yes,
purse and I think the separate one. Those are the common and the simple one that everybody can easily relate with. I don't want to go into speaking some grammars about that so that everybody can have a proper understanding. So the separate account, yeah. So
yes,
and so those are those are the two that we have presently. So joint account and
yes.
separate account, there has actually been has been issue around both joint and separate account for a while. In fact, most time when I still
That's
listen to you want to say something, sir?
Yes, I was saying that you should tell me about it. You said there's still issues
Yeah,
with joint account and separate
there is
account.
actually a lot. Reason being that
Okay.
some people believe that if I share my money, if my wife knows everything that is with me, they believe that
Mm.
if your wife knows everything that is with you, that they have the tendency of getting it. Like until you finish it, they'll be telling you, just my dear, I have 30,000 naira. Oh, yeah, give me 10. Should you still have 20,000? Give me 20 now. Until the whole money finishes, and then they just say, okay, if you still not keep the money away from him, since he doesn't know any amount the amount of spend, the woman will keep on assuming that my husband should have money now. So you'll keep on
True.
asking, okay,
True.
give me money. Now you see that the two now is at the extreme somehow.
Yes.
So and you can't actually say, okay, oh yeah, you go for joint marriage. I mean joint account
Mm-hmm.
rather, and you can't actually say, okay, go for separate account because the both comes with intentionality in managing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not
Yes.
equipped with the needed knowledge to manage both, then you will fail. You will fail with separate account. You will fail with joint account. So and you will be left with some archaic, orientation that nothing actually works. You conclude
True.
that there's actually no
True.
pattern, and there are a lot of patterns that actually work, and even all these patterns we mentioned, they work. There are some that work. I know friends that are married and they do joint accounts. I know friends that are married that do separate accounts, and it works for them. So I can just talk
Wow.
about factors that could actually enhance that. That's what I
Wow.
can talk about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. In fact, you know why you're talking about the joint and the separate account? Almost every
Yeah.
type of accounts that we have out there happen to be broken down into these two types, right? So it's
Yeah.
either it
Yeah.
is joint, maybe we get to bring in our money, we have a central purse, a commonwealth, a central purse where we contribute our monies into, and from there we pay our bills, we do all our expenses, we do all our growing together, right? So there's always that. And there are people who still like to do the separation. The separation is the fact that maybe one person, you handle these bees, me, I handle these bees. In fact,
Yeah.
for us in my house, one of the things we had to come to terms with, we
Yeah.
concluded on when we were still in relationship was that we decided that we wanted to have the money style we wanted to have was the percentage style, right? The percentage style. Yes, the percentage in the sense that of which is the percentage based contribution. So whatsoever you earn, 50% of whatsoever you earn belongs to the family. Sorry,
But hold
70% of
on. So
whatsoever you
that
earn
means
belongs to the
that
family.
she's still aware of the 100%. She knows what the 100% is. Abby, am I correct?
Yes, she knows what the 100% is, but what comes to the family is 70%. So it means that the 30% that stays with whosoever is contributing now is for that person's personal use. Like use as you like. Situations where people will say, "Oh, I want to have my own money. I want to have my own money. I don't want somebody else to be the one to determine which money I will have or which money I don't have, and the rest." Right? So, but we do the percentage base. So I contribute a particular percentage, she contributes a particular the same percentage. Now it is not the 50-50 thing like some people will do,
Yeah.
like, oh, this month you are supposed to drop 50K and me, I'm supposed to drop 50K. Or
But
rather,
the
the
percentage from
expenses.
your hand, sorry, sir, the percentage from your hand,
Yes,
is it the same as from our hand as well?
yes, when it comes to percentage, when we are talking about percentage, so percentage
Yeah.
right now, when we are talking about percentage, what we actually mean is it means that whatsoever you earn at the end of the month, you contribute a particular percentage to the
Mm,
family, to the joint
mm,
account. It does not
mm,
mean a particular figure. It is not figure, it is
yeah.
percentage. So it means that if in this month you earn 50K, you are supposed to
Yeah.
contribute 70% to the family. You are supposed to contribute
I remember
70% of
now,
that 50K
get.
to the family.
I think that's a very good pattern too, and in fact,
Yes,
I love it. Let me just put it that way. I love the pattern. One thing I want to establish is this. I want to
yes,
quickly
please.
establish this before. Money. When it comes to issue of money, it has
Yes.
been recorded by research that is the second major issue that cause divorce in marriage after infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not properly trained when it comes to money. People don't have, they will teach you how to live life, they teach you how to relate with your spouse, they teach you how to overlook many
Yes.
things. But I don't think the
Yes.
money aspect. In fact, the reason why I'm so particular about this program when I said I would love to be there because people we don't talk about money. Personally, I
True.
enroll myself in some many trainings about money in preparation for a lot of things because I believe any area where you lack knowledge, you will suffer. That's my own personal belief. In
Yes.
any area, I just believe it that way. So I'm just chipping this in so that everybody can take this particular topic we're having serious. Yeah.
Yes. The thing about it is that when it comes to this, the different money styles, what I usually recommend and suggest to couples, like when people come in for counseling and they say, "Oh, what is the money style you would like to recommend to us? What money style would you want us to use in our marriage? Perhaps we are having different issues in marriage." What I do is to first of all check their financial history, like what were they familiar with while growing up? What was the money style they were familiar with while growing up from their parents? What did they see their parents do? Then I also ask myself, what is it that is their desires? What is it that they want to create? What is it that they want to achieve? What does money mean to them? You know, that's one
Yeah.
big thing we usually pay to realize that
Yeah.
money has different meanings to us. When we understand what money is to us, and you are able to now see this person's historical background, you could come up and say, okay, what money style should we apply? Right? And of course, from time to time, you may want to change. Like from time to time, you may want to change what is it that works for you, because something may work for you in the first 3 years of your marriage, first five
You
years
are
of your
correct,
marriage,
sir.
but in the next
Mm.
10 years, it may no longer work.
You know what?
And that's where flexibility now comes in. And some people are not so flexible when it comes to how they manage money. You know, there's this traditional one, this traditional mindset that we have, where
Mm.
people say, oh, his money is our money, but my money is my money. And
My
I
money.
do not know if you've heard people say that. And
I've
what
had,
was
in
your
fact, I've
reaction?
actually
What is it that you think about it?
you know that word I've had it from women, mostly ladies. They be like, okay, my money is mine, but your money is
Mhm.
ours. And you know, men, you know that men are also emotional. Yeah, you some men actually see that they want to show that every responsibility. They want to be man enough. I'm not saying you should not be responsible as a man, oh, but whereas you are being hurt. Do you know that
Mhm.
accumulated pain is what throw a man off balance? You are
True,
you are
true.
absorbing a pain that you think is hurtful, and you decided not to speak up because people will say you are not a man enough and all that. Even I have families very because in my field, we counsel families, and I have families that
Yeah.
the woman is the one that is taking the lion's share when it comes to shouldering the responsibility of the family.
Yes.
And but because there is proper understanding, so even the percentage, like you said earlier, it is even the
Yes.
let me just chip this in. I know of a
Yes.
family I know of very well that it is even in Lagos, like
Yes.
that will practice. I mean, he is the woman that is shielding almost 90%, and nobody knows, if not because I'm the professional in charge. I know that you get what I'm talking about. I
Yes.
respect them for that firmness in their decision, and they are doing it unanimously. But the funny thing some people actually have issue coping with is because the issue of money can be very funny. When you actually had that the money you didn't work for, somebody just said that, dear, our money is, and you don't actually have any money. That can be very sweet. When you hear we have, you don't have any money, and your wife or my people just come and say, dear, we have 10,000 naira. You're like, wow, the money that doesn't belong to you was called yours. But the most strange part of it could be that when you actually worked yourself out to get a certain amount of money, and maybe your wife
Mhm.
was just and said, "Yeah, how much do we do we have?" you know, you will be so reluctant, and even in another say, "Do sometimes if you are not firm and you have not established the facts in your mind, you'll be like, do who have
I think what I usually recommend to people like that in situations like that is that if one person has the lion's share, right? If one person is bringing the lion's share, let it be. You are able to. There's transparency in the sense that I can actually see what comes into your account.
Yeah,
What causes problem in many marriages financially happen to be two
yes,
things. Number one is the fact that there's no financial transparency. And number two, outside the fact that there's no financial transparency, the second issue that I have noticed that causes a lot of issues for many marriages is that maybe one person is a bad spender, right? So one person is a
yeah.
bad spender.
You
So
know,
I
you,
usually, yes, you wanted to
you know,
say
I
something,
think the
sir?
Yeah, I talked about the issue of personality the other time when you asked me for which kind of pattern I think is recommended for all. You
Yes.
can't actually take personality out of this thing we are talking about today, because some people,
Mhm.
in fact, that somebody may see money. Anytime some people see money, they see saving, 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 saving. And somebody else
Mm.
will see money, you'll be seeing spending, 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 spending. Some people believe that the best way to defend is to attack. Like the best way to get money is to keep spending on people. He said that's the best way
Yes,
for
of
money to
course.
come to you. Some people also believe
Hmm.
that when you save it, like you keep it, even when you have food, you have needs, you still know that I
Yes.
still have money. That's how they are secured. Some people are secured when they know that I think I have money in my account. Even though what they're
True.
supposed to use it for is also, if you are coming from that kind of orientation, for you to balance it with the person you are meeting, you must, both
Mhm.
of you must, because marriage and money there must be a room for compromise. We have a course in
Of
psychology we
course.
call psychology of
Of course.
adjustment. Adjustment
Of
is
course.
something we do
We
every
have,
day and
and it's
every
just
now and then.
something that you have to just continuously, like you said, the adjustment, which is every day, and every time you guys have to just see what is it that will work. In fact, I wish
Mm.
I could even take you longer, but I checked our time and we just have about 2 minutes. I'm telling you, we just have about 2 minutes to go. We just have about 2 minutes to go. Of course, we'll definitely have you back on radio. We'll have you back on radio and still have conversations around this and all that matters. And that's because for those of you who are listening or those of you who are watching, Mr. Awolowo Ola Oluwa is also a counselor. Yes, he's also a counselor like me, and we get to just talk about these things. But remember that what we share here is not professional advice. If you need professional advice, you will want to consult a therapist directly. Right. And the thing about it, if I'm contributing now with what Mr. Olaolu has said, is that couples, we need to sit down and start talking and start asking ourselves, how do we actually want things to be, and be ready to shift grounds, and not just come in and insist that, oh, this was how my parents handled money, this is how I've always handled money, and this is how we must
Yeah,
handle the
like all
money in our
this
marriage.
the rigid mindset. We don't do this in our family, and my friend will not take this. That one, if your friend doesn't take it, you can take it. If there are things they don't
You,
do in your family,
you
you want to be an improvement on your own. I used to say it that every child is an improvement on his family. If my dad was always wrong or always angry, I can choose never to be angry. So
true.
you don't say, this is what they do in my family. Always, my daddy will never shift ground. You can choose to shift ground. There's no
You can. It's the adjustment thing you said now. The adjustment thing you said. So you have to realize that your partner are unique and they are distinct from your past experiences. So you have to ask yourself, in this particular marriage, if in your marriage it is a win-lose situation or a lose-win situation, then the marriage is not healthy. It has to always be a win-win situation. So the two of you always come together to ask yourself, which grounds can I shift and which grounds can you shift for us to make it work? And that's why, even for people who are dating right now, I want them to always have those kind of conversations and always talk, right? And see how they can ask themselves, when we get married, what is going to be our financial plan? What is money going to look like? Some people ignore it and they just like, we'll be fine now. We'll be fine last. And the rest also will say, well, I know some men who think that it is because they are a man, but they don't know that it is unhealthy pride and ego that say, oh, as a man, I have to handle everything as a man. No, you should not handle everything as a man. You should handle everything if you have the capacity to handle everything. Right? If you have the capacity to handle everything, but don't attach it to as a man. I have to, because the moment you start using that as a man, it means that there's a possibility that in every other aspect of the marriage, you'll be using terms like
Yeah,
as a man,
as a
as a
man.
man,
So
right?
you want to
As
be
a man.
you brought
And
around.
you have to sit down and ask yourself, this may work now, but may not work tomorrow. So, Mr.
Mm.
Alalu, I would like to ask you, what will be your final counsel for us today?
Okay, I think I like I started with, I said earlier that any area you lack knowledge about, you will suffer. And I used to define
Yes.
knowledge as what you know that give you an edge over others. So
Mhm.
I want to advise every young person and everyone that we should seek knowledge. And knowledge doesn't mean that you are adding to what you already know. It may actually be you are
Yes.
editing what you already know. So about
Oh,
this
great.
issue of money, get knowledge. You can edit. You see, I see something that I will do better sometimes, because so that you will do better when you know better. So don't
True,
come too hard on
true,
yourself in case you have
true.
had issue with. Don't come so hard on yourself. Don't be depressed. Don't think you are not a man enough. Forget about that. You will know better when you
Thank
do better.
you.
Don't keep knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have said it all. If you know better, you do better. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, daddies and mommy, aunties and uncles, I have to leave your face and your ears today. But join me again next week, Sunday by 1 p.m. live here on your radio therapist, reaching you from Vintage 93.7 FM. Oluyole Ibadan. It has been an amazing Sunday that I've spent with you, and you're very sure the next week we'll be bringing up another topic that will help you better your relationship, your marriage, your family life, and also your mental health. My name is Earl, and I'm all right. And from the ancient and modern city of Ibadan, I say you rock.